Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Pray everyone is well, inshallah. Not done another book review like this in quite a while, but I wanted to share this book that I came across. Well, I came across it quite a while ago, to be honest, quite a few years ago, but I've never got my hands on it. More recently, a Sīrah conference in Masjid Nurul Islam in Blackburn. They were giving away this book. So it's called Sīrah in 30 Days. I hope you can see. Inshallah, I will take pictures and add overlays, so you should be able to see it on the screen. It's called Sīrah in 30 Days by Mawlānā Vasiyullah Bhayyat, who I do believe is from Preston. What I found quite unique and significant, to be honest, about this book, that I believe it is targeted. I believe it's targeted towards madrasa and maktab students, so like beginners. But in all honesty, after going through the book, for an adult, it wouldn't take more than 1 hour, 1.5 hours, I believe, the entire book. But I believe it's beneficial for all ages, inshallah, but especially for those maktab teachers. I believe this book should, especially the whole concept of it is that you do 30 lessons, I believe, like 30 lessons in 30 days. So as Rabiul Awwal has just finished, it would have been like a perfect opportunity for Makatib to maybe go through 1 or 2 lessons a day, and within 4 weeks throughout the entire month, they would have finished the book. But obviously, you can do this in any month. You could do it throughout the year by doing like one lesson a week or every 2 weeks or something. But yeah, I'll go through it, and like I said, I will add pictures, so you should be able to see it. So the first thing you can see is that it's color coded. So obviously it's targeted towards kids. So obviously it helps with usability and just in general to locate everything. So it's color coded in different sections. Firstly of Sīrah, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, the Ahlul Bayt, for the Shama'il of the Prophet. Then it's got some facts about the Prophet, the landmarks where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam visited, the farewell sermon of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and finally it's got reflections. So it's got like a few different chapters in each section. I believe the biggest chapter is of the Sīrah, so it's got a few sections. So it's got the blessed birth of the Prophet, the guardianship, his marriage, the revelation, the boycott in Mecca, the Mi'raj journey, and the demise of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then he goes on to the Khulafa ar-Rashidun radiyallahu anhum, the Ashra Mubashara. Lesson 10, he says hadith. So far I remember, he just explains what, in basic terms, what hadith is. And then he goes on to the Ahlul Bayt. So that you've got the Sīrah done, you've got the Sahaba done, and then he goes to the Ahlul Bayt. So he's got the blessed lineage of the Prophet, his sallallahu alaihi wasallam's uncles and aunts, his witnesses and servants, the Ummahatul Mu'mineen, the Azwaj Mutahharat, the children of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his grandchildren sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then the next section, the fourth section, is the Shama'il. So I believe this is one of the smallest sections in the book. But obviously, like I said, it is condensed. But still, even though it's condensed, I believe it does pack a lot into it. So in this Shama'il section, as we know, there's so many books written on the Shama'il of the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The most famous of them probably being the Shama'il of Imam Tirmidhi, rahimahullah, which is obviously in a lot of detail. But this one, he mentions the blessed face of the Prophet. Obviously, you have to remember that this is targeted towards kids as well. So, and like the author mentions Mawlānā Vasiyullah Bhayyat, حفظه الله, تعالى, he mentions in his introduction, I believe, I'll just read the section out to you, the paragraph. So he says, there are many books written on Sīrah in different languages, with some being widely accepted amongst the ulama of the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. These include books written by reliable authors and scholars, obviously, such as Allamah Ibn Hisham, Allamah Ibn Kathir, Shaykh Idris Kandhlawi, Shaykh Sulayman Nadwi, Shaykh Zakariya Kandhlawi, Shaykh Hifzur Rahman Suharvi, Shaykh Abul Hasan Nadwi, and our beloved husband, Mawlānā Yusuf Motala, Rahimahullah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with all of them and accept all of their works and dedication towards the deen in their lifetimes. And then the author mentions this short booklet has been based on some of these works. And then the author mentions, obviously, like I mentioned at the beginning, the whole concept of it. So he's taken, you see it at the back as well, in the bibliography, he's got all the sources mentioned where Mawlānā Vasiyullah has taken everything from. But like he mentioned that these, I believe, primarily have been taken out from the works of some of these ulama. And like I said at the beginning, the thought process was to have Sīrah in 30 days, so like 30 lessons, like the book goes through. So yeah, what were we on? Yeah, so that's the Shama'il then, and then it's got sections on the facts. So it's got the food and drink of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his clothes and accessories sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his relics and animals sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his pilgrimages, his miracles, his expeditions, and his letters to different rulers and kings, and expeditions. Is also mentioned in the book, the differences between the Ghazawat and Sariya. So Ghazawat is what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself led army into battle, and the Sariya is what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave instructions to the Sahaba radiallahu anhum to carry out the expeditions. And then the third to last section is on the landmarks. So it's got the different landmarks in Makkah Mukarramah where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam visited, as well as in Medina al-Munawwarah. And then you've got the farewell section, farewell sermon. That's just one section. And then why I find quite good, quite unique in this book. Again, like I said, because it's targeted towards kids. So maybe once you've gone through the whole book, like I said, the concept is doing it in 1 month, but whichever, depending on your syllabus or whatever. So it's got this activities section. So you've got different activities that you could do with your kids, your class, or if you're doing this at home with your kids, nephews, and nieces or siblings. So, for example, this one activity is, it says draw a family tree of the noble Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and write down his whole family from grandfather to grandchildren. And then it's got another activity. It says write down the key events of the noble Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's life at the following ages: 6, 8, 20, and 35 years old. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So yeah, I believe it's got 20 different activities. So you could get like the whole class involved. And I believe this is the best. Obviously, everything else, the Sīrah, etc., is very important. But what I found personally beneficial as well, see, the whole book is beneficial, mashallah. But this section, meditation upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's got like so many different examples. I believe it's just under 20 examples of from a person's personal life, how they could connect themselves to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whether it's enduring different trials and hardships. Yeah, so like this, it says, when bleeding from any part of the body, remember the noble Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's body covered in blood on his return from Taif. And then it's kind of the example of when going on a journey to remember the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's long and tiring journey, the Hijrah, to Al-Madinah al-Munawwarah from Makkah al-Mukarramah. There's got different, like, if experiencing like poverty or starvation. Another example of being orphan or taking care of orphans. So yeah, all in all, and again, it's at the end of the book. It's got some just some notes, like some recommendations from the kids, I believe, age 10 of Madrasa Natibul Islam in Preston. So yeah, personally, I think this is it's a short but good book to introduce into the syllabus of Madaris, inshallah. So yeah, I hope this was beneficial, inshallah. It doesn't say where you can purchase it. It doesn't say where you can purchase the book. Basically, yeah, he's got contact details of email. So yeah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless. Mawlānā Vasiyullah Bhayyat. I don't believe I've met him before, but it's a very good work. So yeah, till next time, inshallah. Keep in your du'as. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all the tawfiq to implement the examples of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's blessed life into our own lives as much as we can. And whether we're facing hardships or even good times in our lives, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us follow as much as we can. We will unfortunately never be able to follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam exactly, as much as we can, inshallah, and bring it into our lives. So yeah, keep in your du'as. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.